tradition. You can't buy it. It's earned the hard way over decades and eras. On the field, on the road, in the mud. With guts and with grit, and firm belief that today could be our day. The Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup is back. Still alive, still kicking, the oldest prize in American soccer. 96 teams, part-timers to major leaguers. Survive and move on, lose and you go home. So we call all underdogs, dreamers and believers. And we ask you again, one simple question. Are you up for the cup?
It is night 2 of round 2 of the 2025 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. Tonight from Segra Field in Leesburg, Virginia. It's the USL Championships, Loudoun United taking on Virginia Dream. With the former pro striker Ricky Lopez-Espin, I'm Josh Eastern. Busy night of action here in the U.S. Open Cup. The third round will be in just a couple of weeks. That is when 16 USL Championship teams will enter the rest of the USL Championship teams. Then the round of 32 will see 16 MLS teams enter. And then it's all bracketed from there onto the round of 16 through the final on October 1st. Going back to the first rounds. A couple of exciting games for Loudoun United, having to get by Westchester United. It was Riley Benoit who scored a brace on the night.
It wasn't convincing whatsoever for Ryan Martin's side. Yes, there was some rotation, but Benoit, he gets a brace, sort of scores a pen as well. In a cup competition, Josh, it doesn't matter how you do it. It just matters that you did it. So Loudoun United sees another day in U.S. Open Cup and expect this side to be full of confidence because they've been fantastic in the league.
Loudoun United 3 wins out of 4 games in the USL Championship, and they add another one against Westchester. For Virginia Dream, going on the road to City Stadium in the opening 10 minutes, Nicolas Leculia earning a penalty, and it was off to the races from there.
They were confident, they were courageous, and they were very brave in the way that they approached this game at Richmond. Did not say no for an answer. They found ways to grind out a result, and now that yet again, they're going to play it against a team that's a higher level. Expect this Virginia Dream side to continue to follow their dream.
The lineups tonight for Loudoun United and Virginia Dream. Plenty of experience on the Virginia Dream roster at the USL Championship and League One level. A little bit more rotation, though, for Loudoun United.
We talked to Ryan Martin ahead of this match, and he said, look, I know a lot of the players that are playing for Virginia Dream because they've either trialed out with us, they've trained with us. Coffee, Leculia are players that are going to be the focal points. Amo as one the left-hand side. But it all comes down to Loudoun United. Skundrich, Volo, and Santos, players that have a lot of experience in their career. They're going to be the key points for Loudoun.
And with that, we are ready to go tonight. Teams on the fields. Loudoun in red, Virginia Dream in black tonight. There is the whistle from our referee, Marie Derp, and we are underway on a 55-degree night here in Leesburg, Virginia. A little bit of breeze in the forecast as well could cause some havoc on the field, but both Loudoun and Virginia Dream coming off good wins in the first round of this competition. Virginia Dream, though, has to take plenty of confidence out of that win against the Richmond Kickers. And with all that experience they do have, a chance to go on the road and take out another USL team, this time, though, aside from the championship. We talked to Ryan Martin about the 2-0 win against Rhode Island over the weekend in the league. He was very pleased with his team's performance, calling it a complete performance, and he was especially happy with the response after the only loss of the season so far for Loudoun against Louisville. Got a couple of special goals, he called them, from Abdelatif Abukura, who starts on the bench tonight. He scored 4 goals already this year for Loudoun. And if they are in some trouble as this game goes on, expect to see him on the field.
And Ryan Martin also has a lot of experience. Tommy McCabe comes to mind as well, player that is an extension of that coaching staff. Ben Mines, Keegan Tingy, Zach Ryan, So there's a little bit of rotations within this Loudoun side, but yet with the talent that Ryan Martin has, he expects to advance into the next round of the Open Cup.
A whistle here and an early free kick. Wesley Leggett brought down. Remember, Leggett scored a brace last year against Orange County to help move Loudoun onto that big game against LAFC on the road. This Loudoun team has reached the 4th round now 2 straight years. Pedro Santos stands over the set piece. The header away. And it's Florian Velo who comes to collect for Loudoun. It's moved out wide. Santos trying to help keep that alive. Instead, Velo again. And Santos. Good experience between Santos and Velo on the field. 2 creative playmakers. Ryan Martin trying to get going here in 2025. We talked to head coach CJ Taylor for Virginia Dream about that first game against Richmond. He said, we're a group that has a lot of experience. We have players that have played at a high level. But he said, we scored some timely goals. We were able to weather the storm against Richmond when they were putting some pressure on. Come the second half, they limited a lot of the chances Richmond had. They took advantage of the few opportunities they had. They were clinical, and that's why they scored 3 goals on the night. Pendleton playing this all the way back, and now the goal is wide open. The shot is wide. Nothing doing there for Virginia Dream, but nervy moments there for Ugo Faru, and especially the 18-year-old center back, Ethan Pendleton. Well, that is the last thing that you want, is to mess around with playing out of the back if you're Ryan Martin and Loudoun.
A bit shaky for this Loudoun United side. Players that don't normally get minutes in game time, so you have to be very cognitive of what you do and how you do it. No need to try to play this ball back if you are Pendleton, and if you're Hugo Faru, that ball needs to be up and away, never into a central location.
Hugo Faru getting the start for Loudoun. For Virginia Dream, it's Joe Rice, a former Loudoun United player with the club in 2022, made 5 appearances during that season. He's also played for Hartford, New England Revolution 2, and the Richmond Kickers. So it's the Joe Rice Homecoming Tour, or the Revenge Tour, whatever you want to call it. As Faru will take this at the top of his area.
There's a lot of players on this Virginia Dream side that have something to prove. Ryan Martin knows it, and that was the message to some of the players for Loudoun. Great ball here, nice little pocket of space. Wesley
Leggett tracking back defensively was Elijah Amo to win it back for Virginia Dream. Nicolas Laculia, the big man up top, finds himself out wide. Jimmy Filerman. Laculia making the run in behind. Laculia looking to cross towards the top of the area. Dealt with initially. Stagnachu able to get it away, but Harry Hawkins helps to keep it alive. Now a low shot coming in and wide. And that shows you the confidence that Virginia Dream is going to play with tonight.
Just look at the numbers that they have in the ability to attack. Crashing that 18-yard box, how quickly they can turn their defense into offense, especially with that front 3. Amo, Laculia, and Torres, all interchangeable for CJ Taylor. He needs to be really pleased with how his side has started this game.
Now trying to play in behind. Velo is making that run. The back pass will get to Joe Rice. Here's Pendleton, 18-year-old DC United Academy player, committed to play his college soccer at UCLA for the Bruins in the Big Ten. Velo keeps it moving. Cross back post, looking for Leggett. He keeps it in play. It's cut back, looking for Dagnachu, and put out for a throw-in.
Fantastic bit of play from Loudoun United. Notice how Florian Velo slows this game down, but give credit to Wesley Leggett. Not easy. That technical ability, the backside of your head. And Bidois has the right idea to put it into the path of Dagnachu. But you just see the experienced players already starting to stand up for Loudoun.
Hurge bursting forward. He's taken off the ball. It's a whistle and a free kick.
Kofi's a player that Ryan Martin's very familiar with. Spent time in USL Championship. It's a clear foul. As he's going to play centrally next to Akinkoy, their balance is going to be really important for the success of Virginia Dream. You both can't get caught too high, because that's exactly where Wesley Leggett and Florian Velo like to operate in.
Virginia Dream, their debut appearance in the U.S. Open Cup, getting that win against the Richmond Kickers in round one. Lakulia, Sucheki, and Akinkoy, the goal scorers. Team that comes from Falls Church, Virginia, just about a half hour away from here at Segra Fields. So getting a couple of, I guess, local games against the Kickers, a little bit farther of a drive, but this one pretty close to home for Virginia Dream. Loudoun building forward again. Watt trying to move it ahead, deflected out, and it was last off of the New Zealand international Riley Bidois. Played in the Olympics with New Zealand.
And he's not an out-and-out number 9. So expect him to make these movements towards the sidelines. So if you are a player around him, how do you occupy the space that he vacates? So Wesley Leggett needs to be in tune with his rotations on top of that line.
Miscommunication there, but Virginia Dream able to keep it. Akinkoy under some pressure. Has to find Filerman. Loudoun making it difficult for Virginia Dream to play out here. Looking for the switch of play. Loudoun coming forward again into the attack. A nutmeg there. Now the cross to come in towards the back post to his overhit and out of play. Showing all the skill here early on.
Bit of class from Florian Velo. He's a player that every stop in his career has found success, whether it is at the MLS level, USL Championship, for a couple years as well. Playing on the left-hand side, we've seen him play centrally for Loudoun. A bit of a different look for Ryan Martin's side.
Played back for Faroux. Out of his box, able to pick out the pass to Hurge. Virginia Dream able to win it back. Coming right through the middle, moved off to the right side. It runs out of play, and the decision is goal kick.
Urge needs to be quicker with the ball here. As he takes his third touch, now it's just too predictable trying to play this ball into Florian Velo. Kofi does a nice job at stepping up. Watch out.
Acrobatic clearance. Urge, who is in the Columbus Academy, has only made one appearance so far this season. Played 90 minutes in the other Open Cup match against Westchester United. Has not played in the USL Championship as of yet. Ryan Martin said there would be some rotation. He also said it's a big opportunity for players that don't normally get in the lineup to impress.
And as a player, all you can ask for is an opportunity. Now, when the team sheet comes out in league play, you have to be able to look at your manager and say, look what I did in the Open Cup. I deserve to be in the roster day in and day out. So a player like Herge hasn't been the best of starts. 12 minutes and a bit sloppy. It seems a bit nervous as well. They're going to be really important for that young man just to get on the ball and connect his first pass so he can grow into confidence.
Blocked out of play, and a throw-in on the way. A year ago for Loudoun United, a great run in the U.S. Open Cup, taking out the Richmond Kickers on the road in penalty kicks. And then, with just how the groups worked, they were put in a group with mostly teams from Southern California. Ended up beating Orange County, and then went toe-to-toe with LAFC, a lot closer than the scoreline would have indicated. This comes into the box again. Nothing doing for Virginia Dream. This is a Loudoun United team that is still really learning about this competition. Made their debut back in 2023. They've reached the fourth round now 2 straight years. And the round of 16 a year ago as well. But a team with plenty of experience on its roster now. Loudoun looking for that direct ball through the middle. It's flicked along. This might come off for Leggett, but the flag is up for offside. He almost lulled Virginia Dream to sleep with all that, trying to keep it on the deck. They hit it over the top.
Wesley Leggett about half of a yard off the right side of your screen, but if you're a fielder, man, you cannot get caught on the outside. You need to be goal side, especially when your center back goes and challenges for the initial ball. That's a cue that you need to shift and provide some coverage underneath him.
Back pass here for Joe Rice, and he gets rid of it.
But love the recognition from Wesley Leggett as Bidois challenges. Now that is your cues that you can run in behind and really gamble.
Down the line now, looking to cut this one back, but nothing on. Kulia able to drop in and win that ball for Virginia Dream. Making the run forward, an easy take here for Ethan Pendleton. Forward in the middle, Virginia Dream comes away with it. 16 minutes into this game. Not a ton of good opportunities for either side. Here's Filerman. This worked out. Move down the line. Filerman still forward. This will be a foul against Virginia Dream and a free kick to Loudoun.
Nice little action here from Filerman. He's trying to change your point of attack, just hits it, but now it ends up at Hawkins. And as he tries to recover from his mistake, tough challenge. Virginia Dream have done a better job over the last 5 minutes as negating the ball into Hurge. That was the pass that was always going to be the outlet to break through that first line of pressure for Loudoun. But notice how they're splitting the difference. The two front men, Amo and Laculia, or Torres as well. As one steps up, the other one drops in and picks up that single pivot of Loudoun. Great ball.
Here's Pendleton. Hurge and Santos showing the range of his passing as he moves it out wide. Velo. Again, Santos trying to play in behind. Leggett making the run. Tough spot there for Amo. And now Virginia Dream can look upfield. Slavov lays it off. Joe Rice with the distribution. Like it, the header. Broken up. Virginia Dream trying to work their way upfield. Laculia. Hold play up. Giannis Learman stepped in, and then it's given right back. Akinkoy. Both teams have really struggled to hold on to possession for long periods. Kind deflection here to Virginia Dream. Has them into the final third. Trying to look upfield. Laculia had the slip pass in behind, but couldn't connect with Slavov. Santos turns it over. Amo. Slavov. Good skill to get around a couple of red shirts and able to keep it now for Virginia Dream.
Just no vertical threat for Loudoun. Thus far, everything has been in front of the two center backs. Bitois wants the ball to feet. This is when you need to go quick.
And numbers here for Loudoun if they can get this one right. Bidwa moves it out wide. Velo, it's Bidwa, and it's in the side netting. First big chance of the game for Loudoun.
Starts with trying to overcomplicate it from Coffey, and now this Loudoun United side is explosive and they're direct, and I love Bidwa as he plays his ball into the floor, and Velo, that draws out two Virginia Dream defenders, and that opens up the space for the striker to continue his run. Right idea, just unable to get it inside that near post. Good action from Bidwa.
Gonna play it out wide. Here comes Virginia Dream. Amo asking for it. Amo gets it. He couldn't settle it quick enough. And now Loudoun will look to play out. doubt some Virginia Dream fans who have made the relatively short drive over from Falls Church. Virginia Dream, who have teams in 3 different leagues. The UPSL, the MPSL, and the Virginia Super Soccer League. This ball coming back post, Leggett knocks it down, and this one stays out. A big collision on the goal line, but Joe Rice did enough with his feet to keep that out of the goal.
Love this look from Pedro Santos, right side of your screen. Leggett and acres of space off the shoulder, but as this ball comes back across, he could be a little bit more selfish. 6 yards out, why not call your own number and try to test Joe Rice? Bitois has a player on his backside, but give credit to the goalkeeper. Takes the contact and does just enough to not allow the ball to cross that white line. Great save from Joe Rice.
Everybody back on their feet. That's what Joe Rice brings to this Virginia Dream side, an experienced keeper who has played across the USL and has some good pro experience to his name. Foul in the middle. Card coming out.
Really tough challenge. The right arm catches Santos on the follow through. Slavov. Always run the risk when your arm is that extended away from your body and catches an opposing player. Big difference between trying to feel and protect yourself, but when it's that far away, you run the risk. It's actually the center back, McAllister, that steps up and he sees yellow.
Everybody back to their feet because there was a yellow card. He's allowed to stay on the field. Santos have to come off for a moment. For 2 shots for both sides, but nothing on target. The other game going on right now is one of the 2 USL League One versus USL Championship games tonight. Portland Hearts of Pine, this is over the top, Joe Rice takes it. Portland taking on Hartford Athletic. Mo able to keep it. Filerman moves it back. And here's Harry Hawkins. And a turnover. Good step by Hurge. Dagnachu looking for the cross, and the header is over the bar. Benoit was right there for Loudoun.
Fantastic step here from Hurge, and I love the composure and the patience from the young man to play it wide. Really, Benoit, just too much pace on this ball that comes across, unable to redirect it back on target. What a chance that could have been for Loudoun United to draw first blood here.
Now trying to catch the keeper off his line is Florian Villot. Nothing doing, and out of play.
Virginia Dream starting to lose a little bit of confidence in that central location. Coffee becoming a bit too casual. And I love the intent from Florian Villot. Picks up his head, sees Joe Rice, does not miss by much.
Of course you like the intent of trying to score from midfield. I mean, you've done it before, right?
Not making me blush, Josh.
Here's Slavov. Slavov settles on the far touchline. That ball stays in play. Another cross comes in, and there is Hugo Farou to come to claim it.
Now you start to see Loudoun United really dominate this game in all facets. On and off the ball, getting a little bit more success within their possession. Not letting Virginia Dream getting any sort of rhythm. Did start off a little bit shaky, but since then, Ryan Martin needs to be really pleased with what he's seen from his side. Now you just need that final action in that final third that's been lacking.
CJ Taylor, the head coach for Virginia Dream, said you have to earn the right to play in a game like this, but he did say we can't defend as much as we did against Richmond. I wonder if at a certain point, Loudoun is just going to be able to wear down this Virginia Dream defense. As the chances aren't coming as plentiful as they did a couple of weeks ago at City Stadium.
Well, they also need to be smart. Yes, you want to be on the ball. Yes, you want to play the game the beautiful way and build out of the back. But if you're not having success, if you've been defending for large portions of this first half, there's nothing wrong with just playing a little bit more direct.
Already an early sub coming here. Wonder what this could be for, but Surafel Dagnachu, the Ethiopia international, is coming off the field, and it is Ben Mines who will enter. You don't want to speculate, but maybe Dagnachu or Ryan Martin wanted Dagnachu to go from the start. He knew he was only going to get 30 minutes, so he decided to do this early, but regardless, it is Ben Mines now onto the field, very experienced. His first year with Loudoun. Ben Mines formerly with Indy 11, Miami FC, New York Red Bulls, Cincinnati, Orange County, and Colorado Springs.
Long list.
He did win a USL championship final with Orange County. Swing and a miss as it came into the box. Another miss, and Virginia Dream able to clear this away. Hugo Farou has been playing with fire in this game.
Need to connect that pass if you are Virginia Dream. You do well to collapse in that center part of the field, but then you give the ball over really cheaply back again. And this is where Loudoun's at their best. When they're playing this game at their speed, they have movement ahead of the ball. You have your playmakers like Florian Villot, Pedro Santos, and the Isag man who's done quite well to rebound after that shaky start, Herge.
Played over the top, Villot. Joe Rice made the save. Flag was up for offside anyway.
nearly right side of your screen, falling below. Tries to loop his run, but he's about a yard off. Fantastic line from Virginia Dream. But you cannot play that game and continue to play that game for the remainder of this match. One time, it's going to be a deep run from a Loudoun player that's going to break your offside trap.
Luculia up to meet that, runs all the way through. I mentioned some of that experience for Virginia Dream. The likes of Harry Hawkins and Jean-Christophe Coffey have played for Loudoun in the past. So a lot of familiar faces coming back here to Segra Fields. Slip it ahead again, nothing on. Slavov carrying it out and looking to play in behind. It's a foot race. Luculia could not get there. It was Giannis Learman who did. But now it's turned over, and a whistle will end the threat. Amo would have been clear in on goal for Virginia Dream.
It's a clear foul. Luculia knows exactly what he's doing. The right arm over the shoulder of Pendleton. Just no need. He knows he's beat, especially when you have Amo coming to help you out. Notice that midfield duo of Virginia Dream, Akinkoy and Coffey, getting drawn out a little bit too much, because that is a lot of space between that midfield line and back line. So if you are Loudoun United, how can you exploit it right there?
Heavy touch there by Velo. Amo now on the ball. A whistle and a free kick to Virginia Dream.
Better from Virginia Dream. Notice the numbers. Essentially trying to clog passing lanes. Tough in the challenge. Akinkoy gets tripped up.
Everybody lining up now for this set piece. Mike Akinkoy standing over it. Akinkoy floating it towards goal. Tough angles, that was pretty much straight on, but really no danger presented from it. Might be danger presented from this counterattack. Leggett trying to hop around the corner. Filerman went to ground and put it out. Combined expected goals in this game of .18. Santos. Long career in Major League Soccer for Pedro Santos. Playing with DC over the last couple of years. Before that with Columbus. 2020 MLS Cup champion with the Crew. Looking to find some width as Loudoun come forward again. One ends up in the net, but the flag was up for offside. And that offside trap has really been working to Virginia Dream's credit so far.
really effective. Give credit to the two center backs for Virginia Dream. The leaders able to step in unison. Too casual yet again from Coffee. Every time he comes back to receive the ball, not once has he peeked over his shoulder just to notice where the pressure's oncoming. If you play at the center midfielder position at this level, your body position is everything. You can see where the pressure's oncoming, but you can also understand where the service is coming from Joe Rice.
Again, looking for that long ball over the top. Bounces off this turf surface and into the arms of Farouk. Forcing the turnover, a throw-in for Virginia Dream. Gonna play into the corner. Now finding space to cross. Header away by Giannis Learman, who's played a big role defensively tonight for Loudoun. Filerman, the captain, has tried to play it into space. And it runs out for a goal kick. Over the top again, Joe Rice out of his box to head it away. Alert goalkeeping there from the experienced pro.
It's about the third time now that Loudoun has elected to go over the top. So if there is no pressure on the ball, Virginia Dream needs to drop. They're getting beaten far too easily and far too often with Wesley Leggett. Defending 101, no pressure on the ball, you drop. If there is pressure, that's when you can step up.
Playing behind towards the end line. And it runs out for a corner kick. First corner of the game for either side. It's an out-swinging ball over everybody's head. Learman will try to track it down. He won't get there. Mo plays it back. Akincoy got a touch to it, and that's all he got.
With all the success that Loudoun has had and all the possession, still 0-0, and that's going to play in favor of Virginia Dream. The longer that this game goes that it's tied, just gives them a little bit more belief, a little bit more confidence. It only takes one moment. Good move.
Able to turn the corner. Now bursting into the box, the cross blocked. Plenty of black shirts there to clean up for Virginia Dream. Into the final 5 minutes of the first half. Pendleton able to burst into space.
Too long to make a decision from Pendleton. Once you get that ball out of your body, you need to punch it into Bidois or Wesley Leggett. As you continue to take touches, what that does, this just collapses that window.
Leggett, it's end line and earns his team another corner kick. Second corner kick in a matter of moments, and Pedro Santos is standing over it. An in-swinging ball, the header is in! Loudoun United able to strike first off the corner kick. It's 1-0 at home.
Great ball in. And what a fantastic glancing header that is from Riley Bidois. Peels off of a shoulder, and notice how he snaps it over his left shoulder. Finds that far post. And now you have a little bit of breathing room if you are Ryan Martin. 1-0, Loudoun United in the lead.
Bidois has now scored his 3rd goal in the U.S. Open Cup. Scored a brace in the first round. And of the 4 goals, he has scored 3 of them. Well, he's off to a heater so far in the U.S. Open Cup here in 2025. Also 1 goal scored in the USL Championship. And now Virginia Dream have to play from behind. Elijah Amo. It's a free kick and a yellow card coming for Wesley Leggett. Well, now you can see the intent here from Virginia Dream trying to get forward quickly.
When you go down, especially on a set piece, it's all about the reaction. Great little move here from Amo. Wesley Leggett, no need to leave your feet. Get it all wrong. None of the ball, all the player. A really interesting location here for Virginia Dream. Akinkoy aiming for right between that 6-yard box and penalty mark. Not creating through the run of play. Set pieces are a fantastic way to claw yourself back into this game.
Mike Akinkoy stands over the set piece once again. The delivery is taken by Farouk. Nearly overran it, but was able to hold on.
With just too much space from Akinkoy. It's bending towards the goalkeeper. You need to have it pull away from him.
Finds its way to Pendleton, who plays the quick ball infield for Santos, and nothing on. It's just been tough sledding for Virginia Dream trying to get into the attacking third tonight. Leggett, he'll chase it down all the way to the end line. Now Pendleton settles, able to send the cross in, a glancing header. It goes wide. Another decent opportunity there for Loudoun. It stays in play on the far side. Another shot coming on, and Joe Rice is able to hold on to this one.
Florin Velo just having so much time and space to pick up his head and look for a pass. No one closes down. Hits it well, to be fair, but straight at Joe Rice.
Into 3 minutes of stoppage time. Lukulia. Lukulia. Out wide for Filerman. Tries to keep it on the deck. Here's Leggett, and a missed touch. Trying to keep this one in play, nothing doing. As Leonardo Torres Lopez puts it out for a goal kick. Now that Loudoun do have that goal, they can afford to go a little bit slower. this ball in play. Pendleton is able to usher that out of play as we enter the final minute of this first half. Hasn't been a ton in it so far. The one shot on target for Loudoun is the one that found the back of the net. Meanwhile, for Virginia Dream, they have created next to nothing. Just 2 shots, neither of them on target. Expected goals of .03. They've not been close. CJ Taylor knew that this would be a more difficult task than the Richmond Kickers, going up a level here into the USL Championship. And a team that has been very strong to start this 2025 season. There's Lopez now coming into the box. The cross dealt with in the middle and put out of play. Maybe one more chance, or no. That is it. That is the end of the first half. There will be no last chance. We go to the break with Loudoun out in front.
You're right, Martin. You need to be a little bit quicker to get that second goal, because at the end of this first half, Virginia Dream started to come alive a little bit more. Flores on this near side, you need more out of Liculia, Coffee, and Amo. Those 3 players need to step it up in this next 45 minutes if Virginia Dream have any hopes of fighting back into this game.
We have reached the break from Segra Field here in Leesburg, Virginia. Our score at halftime: Loudoun United 1, Virginia Dream 0. We'll be back with you in just a few minutes.
Trying to partner with Loudoun United team whose success depends on a winning game plan. It's no different for your business. Team up with Segra for a winning technology game plan to power your business success. Learn more at Segra.com. Loudoun United is home right here at Segra on Saturday, April 5th to take on Hartford Athletic. Get your tickets now. Loudoun United courtesy of Wayne. Download the Wayne Meals to Go today for delicious meals delivered. Celebrating March birthdays with us tonight are Gregory, Hotel Annabella Terrell, Sonic Terrell, Chelsea Terrell, Beth Giuliano, Tommy Persico, and Ben Reynolds. Happy birthday from Club United FC.
Like both sides of everyone knows who I am.
It's nice to show face on both sides too.
Yeah, I definitely want to get into more broadcasts.
With a regional approach, traffic, and of course,
I gotta start doing it. It was great talking to you.
today. And don't forget, you can watch all the home matches on DC News Now or DCW50 all season long. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of Loudoun United FC. Get all of your Loudoun United FC tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek. Of course, the decision maker uses AI to drive better mission outcomes. Of course, supports the Department of Defense with AI-enabled data-driven decisions in real time. Chorus connects to all data sources and streamlines critical mission decisions using AI processes and models that transform your mission. Chorus, the decision maker using AI to drive better mission outcomes. All right, please turn your attention to the video board. It's time for the Loudoun United FC logo shuffle. Fans, we want to thank you for playing today's halftime shuffle.
Getting set for half number 2 from Segra Field in Leesburg, Virginia. It's the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. Second round, Loudoun United leading Virginia Dream by a 0-0. Plenty of other action going on around the U.S. Open Cup tonight and last night as well as we finish up round 2 in action right now. How about Knoxville on top of Greenville by 2-0? The Chattanooga Derby, that's a big one in Tennessee.
It's a fantastic matchup, but it always means a little bit more when two clubs are that close in proximity. Westchester is up 2-0, and Portland Hearts of Pine 0-0 at the break against Hartford Athletic and Brendan Burke's boys.
Still more games to come later on tonight. I think all eyes go to that Des Moines Menace Union Omaha game.
You mean 2014 MLS All-Stars?
Yes,
okay.
that one.
Against Union Omaha.
The 2024 USL League One champions.
Yeah, there you go. Union Omaha ended the Menace's run last season. Can there be a little bit of revenge? And then Forward Madison FC Tulsa in Madison. That's an interesting one as well.
The highlights from the first 45 minutes, there weren't many of them, to be fair, in a game that just didn't feature a lot of attacking opportunities, but this was one.
You have to think that Loudoun is deservingly so of their lead in this first half. They were on the front foot. They were causing some issues, and they were the better team. They were more confident as well. But for Ryan Martin, you need to be a little bit more clinical once you get into that final third. And for Virginia Dream, it was set pieces, but set pieces that left a lot to be desired. In fact, they were a bit sloppy, Virginia Dream. They got a little bit too casual, so I'll not be surprised if they go a little bit direct, and this is how Loudoun found the back of net. It's a fantastic header from Riley Bidois. Notice how he just lets it glance off the side of his head and just squeaks it into that far post. 1-0, Loudoun United at the break.
And with that, we are ready to go for the second half. 45 minutes. And maybe more tonight from Segra Field. We are underway with Ricky Lopez-Espin. I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks so much for being with us. USL Championship, Loudoun United going up against Virginia Dream side that has teams in 3 different leagues, the UPSL, the MPSL, the Virginia Super Soccer League. After beating the Richmond Kickers in round 1, Virginia Dream trying to pull another cup set here in round number 2, but they will have to do it from behind. They scored the first goal in that game against Richmond and went on to score a couple more of them. But they're just looking for anything here tonight. And there's a positive development as it's won back. Amo looking into the box. The cross coming in, it was overhit. Virginia Dream able to keep it as it loops in the middle, and Learman there to clean it up. That'll be a foul against Filerman.
Filerman just coming over the top with Wesley Leggett. Rash from the outside back of Virginia Dream. Good to see Wesley Leggett back on his own power.
Here's Hurge. Skundrich now playing through the lines. Couldn't connect with Bidois. And Joe Rice able to clear it away. Loudoun looking for a second goal just to give them some room to breathe in this one. Leggett able to turn it back and keep it in play. He's taken off the ball. Virginia Dream will look for a way out, but they give it right back. Here's Ben Mines. The substitutes in the first half. This fired out of play, deflected. It's a corner kick. Ready to go on the in-swinger. Put right towards goal and punched away by Joe Rice. Another chance for Santos. Now Velo. Santos gets it back onto his left foot. And again, Bidwa on the doorstep. Already 3 goals for Bidwa in the U.S. Open Cup through a game and a half.
What an addition it is to have Pedro Santos for this Loudoun United side. He just gives you quality and experience, especially from dead ball situations. Just notice the way that he swings the ball in with a lot of pace. Really testing Joe Rice and that back line of Virginia Dream.
Laculia. Elijah Amo. As McAllister in support. Amo turns it in field and lays it off. Coffey moves it out wide. McAllister delivers, too tall for Laculia. Comes back for Akinkoy, he couldn't get onto it. Appeals for handball. He stays alive and the shot is in the corner! Virginia Dream find the equalizer. The Dream is back on.
Since coming out of halftime, this Virginia Dream side just wanted a little bit more. First to every 50-50 ball, I thought this was a handball. The extension of the left arm, but notice Akinkoy. This back line of Loudoun United, they're retreating, so where's the space? About 7 yards out. Great ball back across, even better finish just to help it into that far post. And game on here, 50th minute, 1-1, Dream is on.
Mike Akinkoy has scored some massive goals for Virginia Dream. Scored the 3rd and final goal against Richmond in round 1. Scored in the 89th minute in round 4 of Open Division qualifying to defeat the Aegean Hawks by 2-1. Him and Nicolas Laculia have been the goal scorers for the most part. And Akinkoy able to kiss that one off the post. And now Loudoun United trying to respond again. Ben Mines couldn't keep it, but he wins his side a corner kick. This is very similar to what happened in round 1, where Virginia Dream came out of halftime. They were firing. They scored in the 53rd minute in that game. Another cross fired in, glancing just wide. What a chance for Loudoun to put their noses back in front again.
I think it's Riley Bidwa yet again. Notice the last second right side of your screen just slashes across that near post. No attempt on the ball from Coffey whatsoever. It needs to be better from the midfielder. Riley Bidwa tries to glance it into that far post. Nearly misses it.
Bidwa. Here's Santos trying to roll it forward, touch it along, and cleared away. Skundrich. Here's Alex Nagy. Bidwa not able to get there, runs out of play. Now Kosahase there in central defense for Virginia Dream.
Good usage of the body from Kosahase. Start to feel the confidence and the momentum starting to shift in favor of Virginia Dream.
Have a throw inside their attacking half. First shot on target of the game is in the back of the net for Virginia Dream. Only 7 touches in the opposition box, and they'll have a set piece now on the way. chance now for Virginia Dream to test this Loudoun back line once again. Akincoy stands over it again. Akincoy is ready. And he overhits this one. Too much adrenaline from the goal, probably. On these opening 9 minutes of the second half, Virginia Dream come out with a new mentality. CJ Taylor talked about earning the right to play. The first half, I think it's fair to say they didn't quite get that done, but here in the second half, it's been a new look. He knew his team could not defend for the entirety of the game. They had to find some moments on the ball and moving forward. They have one of those chances here. Elijah Mo. Need to cut in field, but forgot something important, the ball. Kosahase steps forward again. And Virginia Dream will keep it. Pass behind Akincoy. Coffee, though, able to step forward and roll it in behind. Amo cuts it back, looking for Laculia in the middle.
Amo has really come to life in this second half. Ability to be direct and vertical with his movement. Coffee as well. First time we've seen him step up into that final third and deliver a nice little pass that breaks the line.
Defensive play and putting out for a throw-in, and now subs on the way for Loudoun United. Ryan Martin going to his bench in the opening 10 minutes of this second half. Two subs entering will be Zach Ryan and Jacob Erlinson, replacing Riley Bidwa, the goal scorer tonight. And also Alex Nagy will exit. Zach Ryan, a goal and an assist to his name so far this season. Jacob Erlinson has scored once as well. This comes into the box. To lay this off for Velo, friendly fire.
Brought to you by Sakura.
What that's going to do now, that's going to push Drew Skundrich up in that midfield line now. It's almost a 4-1-4-1 formational shift for Ryan Martin. Erlinson will play center back next to Learman. Pendleton will play in the right back position. Pedro Santos left back. Herge as the single pivot. In front of him will be Florian Velo, Drew Skundrich, Ben Mines on either side with Wesley Leggett and Zach Ryan spearheading the attack.
Rolling this forward. Santos gets it back. Herge on the edge of the area. Learman. Learman can hit it. Learman pushed away. Leggett's there. Nobody making the run through the 6-yard box and cleared out for a throw-in. Whistle here and a free kick going back to Virginia Dreams. Able to weather that storm.
Good opportunity from Learman. No one steps up. Tries to bend it into that far post, but as this ball comes back across, if you are a player in a red shirt, you need to have a secondary action. 3 players just on their heels at that 18-yard box. Zach Ryan, Ben Mines, and Herge. Wesley Leggett puts this ball right where you need him to, just no help whatsoever.
Good positive first touch. Joe Rice couldn't keep it out. Ben Mines on the score sheet for Loudoun, and they retake the lead.
Great little move here from Ben Mines, but I love this ball from Florian Valot. Breaks the line. Ben Mines' first touch gets away with him, but he has enough pace to recover. Joe Rice can't come off of his line quick enough. And just like that, Loudoun United regained the lead right before the hour mark.
First goal that Ben Mines has scored since 2023 with Miami FC. Has a couple of assists in all competitions this year, but has not been a big goal scorer in his career, but he does get one here. And now Virginia Dream chasing this one again. Reaching the hour mark, Virginia Dream came out so well out of halftime. And now Loudoun United have clawed back in front. Almost felt like that goal woke them up a bit, because that's when they started going forward with a little bit more venom.
Give credit to Ryan Martin as well. The players that he's brought onto this pitch have really given this Loudoun side an impact in a positive manner. Ben Mines with his willingness to run. Zach Ryan has been a handful already. Just seem a lot more comfortable within their structure, this Loudoun United side. There was times in that first half players were a bit unsure of where they can run, how Ryan Martin really wanted them to play. But since they've gone back into their more traditional formation, it's been more dominant and a lot more discipline as well.
Running behind is Filerman. Erlinson gets it away. That's been part of the growth with this Loudoun team, is just the depth that they've been able to accrue over the last couple of years. You can bring a Ben Mines off your bench, and you still can take out a Riley Bidois after scoring a goal. Whistle here and a free kick to Loudoun. And remember, they still have Abdelatif Abukura on the bench, who has scored 4 goals this year for Loudoun.
ESL Player of the Week. Abukura after his brace against Rhode Island.
Played through the middle. Zach Ryan. Hurge. Trying to get free of Slavov. Hurge. Too much on the pass and out of play. Hurge and Pendleton, the two teenagers on this Loudoun United side, both 18 years old. Pendleton committed to UCLA. Hurge committed to Ohio State. Play under former U.S. men's national team player Brian Masonov. Whistle here, and it's a free kick on the way for Loudoun as they look to add another to their total. Looks like a yellow card has been given to Jimmy Filerman. He's been all over the place, the captain tonight for Virginia Dream, and now the left back into the book.
Yellow card issued to the Virginia Dreams, number 2.
Pedro Santos will come over and take this now.
Yellow card was brought to you by Continental Car.
Santos delivering. Rice came to claim it. It's out of play, and it's a goal kick.
Nervy moments here for Joe Rice. Erlinson beats him to this spot. Not convincing whatsoever for a goalkeeper. He's caught no man's land. If that's on target, Loudoun has their third.
Free kick now for Virginia Dream. They do have a goal scorer on the bench in Thomas Ucheki, who scored in the last round. Anderson Asiadu also on the bench. Former USL Championship player.
Gulia coming down, providing an outlet. Learman and Drew Skundritz like for like with the striker. Need to get him on the ball a little bit more if you are CJ Taylor, the head coach for Virginia Dream.
Kosahase on the switch of play. Slavov wants to take this one on, headed away. Slavov able to step in and win it back for Virginia Dream. Filerman moves it ahead. Slavov trying to weave his way through. Pardon me, that was Torres Lopez. Whistle there on the far side, and a free kick to Loudoun. Loudoun starting to tighten the screws again defensively. Santos into the legs of Amo.
He's been impressive, Herge. He's done a nice job.
Here's Velo, just keeps it in play. Velo battling. Ben Mines comes in and cleared away. Pushing the back against Herge. Free kick, and the referee will let this go quickly. Likulia trying to hold play up, has Akinkoy with him. This will run towards the touchline, it stays in play. Akinkoy. Now Loudoun working forward again. And a chance to shoot. This one ripped wide. Wesley Leggett trying his luck once again. And substitutions now on the way for Loudoun. These are the final two subs of the game. It'll see Keegan Tingy and Abdelatif Abukura enter, with Florian Velo and Wesley Leggett exiting. Tingy in his second season with Loudoun. Abukura his 5th season overall. He joined up with the DC Academy back in 2016. He was 11 years old.
He's a player that can do a little bit of everything. Likes to go 1v1, very skillful on the ball. So as Tingy's gonna pop on to this back line, what that's gonna do now, Pedro Santos will play next to Zach Ryan, almost as a number 10.
And coming together, a whistle and a free kick. And Virginia Dream not in agreement with that decision.
As this ball comes across, I'll tell you what, I tend to agree with them. Oh, ball from this Virginia Dream side.
It was McAllister, who, remember, is on a yellow card. This will definitely favor the left foot of Pedro Santos.
Comfortable distance to go up and over the wall to have it come back down to that crossbar. So really important for Joe Rice to trust his wall. You do not want to get caught cheating. There is a lot of options here for Pedro Santos, and we've been talking about the class of a left foot that he has.
Joe Rice with some words for the referee as the wall is now set. Pedro Santos well out of play. So 3 subs coming. Thomas Suchecki, Demetrius Shepard-Lewis, and Anderson Asiadu all coming onto the field. Asiadu, a lengthy career in the USL Championship, and now coming on for these final 20 minutes. McAllister, one of those players coming off the field.
Section 107 post-match. Autographs are brought to you by Continental Cards. Continental Cards, elevate your collection.
CJ Taylor trying to find some fresh legs here late on. Anderson Asiadu played 5 seasons with Birmingham Legion, played last season with Hartford Athletic. Linking up here with Virginia Dream. Abukura, great cross in, header saved. Zach Ryan on the doorstep for Loudoun. What a brilliant ball in from Abukura.
Just out of nothing, notice that there's just no backlift whatsoever from Abukura. Just simply guides it perfect in the placement on Zach Ryan's head, and he does everything right as well, the number 9. Heads it back across into that lower corner. That is a great save from Joe Rice. Full extension to keep this lead at 1 for Loudoun.
Cross coming in towards the back post. Lofted towards goal and taken by Joe Rice. Rice and Mines getting tangled up, but all is good that ends well.
Just a little bit of a glimpse of the quality from Abukura. Can create something out of nothing at every part of the field. And Zach Ryan is such a clever number 9. I think he's one of the most underrated strikers in all of USL Championship. Physical, big, soft feet. but his movement, he's very smart at the spaces that he picks up.
This game's starting to get a little bit more physical now. 17 minutes to go and a free kick to Loudoun. Pressure here, high up the field. Loudoun able to pass their way out of it. Santos goes out wide, a foul on the far side. It's a free kick on the way.
Great ball around the corner from Pedro Santos. Outside the foot, Ben Mines is just quicker than Harry Hawkins to come in. How that's not a yellow. It's a bit beyond me.
Pedro Santos to stand over the set piece. Santos delivers, puts it in a great area. Not able to win the second ball. Asiadu pokes it free. Lukulia goes down. There's Slavov. Bukura. This game's still hanging in the balance. A little flick around the corner. Zach Ryan looking infield, looking to cut it back. It never got to Abukura. And Asiadu plays it forward. Lukulia goes down. There is no whistle from the referee.
That's a foul. Every single day of the week. The bump in the back from Erlington knows exactly what he's doing.
Abukura looking to turn the corner, and now moving this ahead. Lukulia couldn't keep it, and maybe some frustration setting in for Virginia Dream. One, not able to keep the ball, and two, from a couple of non-calls.
Lukulia needs to be a bit stronger within his hold-up play. As this side is under an immense amount of pressure, he is always going to be the relief valve.
This comes in. Rice again not able to keep it out. Zach Ryan makes it 3-1 to Loudoun.
Starts from a sloppy giveaway from Virginia Dream, and this is when Loudoun is at their best. When they're quick, when they have a lot of movement, and they're playing in between lines. Great ball around the corner from Pedro Santos, and look at this run from Zach Ryan. Outruns his whole back line of Virginia Dream. He just wants it more. Gets himself in a dangerous area. Joe Rice can't come out quick enough. And yet again, a player that Ryan Martin has brought onto this field, Zach Ryan, gives Loudoun a 2-goal lead in the 78th minute.
Zach Ryan, his second goal in 2025, scored in the opener against Birmingham Legion in the USL Championship. And Loudoun looked to just be coasting from here with now a 2-goal advantage for the first time tonight. Mines and Ryan, two players that came off the bench, have scored goals tonight. Ryan also picked up an assist as this cross is taken by Faroux. Skundrich coming right through the middle, laying this one off. Great challenge put in.
What a challenge that is from Harry Hawkins.
And Slavov is fouled. Virginia Dream had 11 minutes left to try to keep their dream alive in this competition.
See what you did there.
Thank you.
Clever, very clever.
Here's Filerman moving it down the line. Amo not able to chase it down. It's a goal kick. There's the nice stretch for Virginia Dream out of halftime. The question was, how long could they sustain it? Was it sustainable? And Loudoun, as we kind of talked about in the first half, started to wear Virginia Dream down as the game went on.
It's really interesting, Josh, when you talk about a team that is not out-and-out professionals that most likely have a 9-to-5 job, so fitness always plays a factor. Right, Loudoun United is in week 5 of their USL Championship season. You add that to a 6-week-long preseason, their job is to stay fit. So when we see, especially in these early rounds, professional teams start to wear down the lower level teams because they're not as fit.
Another header and another one over the bar. That's a duo that is going to make some noise this year, Abukura and Zach Ryan. For the ball over the top. Amo looking for a shot. Kick save by Ugo Faru. Keeps this game at a 2-goal margin. Big chance for Virginia Dream.
He's been the best player for Virginia Dream, Amo. Willingness to be direct, but also very comfortable with the ball at his feet. I love the way he drops his shoulder and beats Learman to that far post. Tries to come back across and wrong foot Faru, but that's a really good save in the end from Faru.
Corner kick lasered in and cleared away for Virginia Dream throw-in. This Virginia Dream side that was founded by Lucas Mendez a couple of years ago. Mendez, who played for the Richmond Kickers as part of his pro career. CJ Taylor also playing a pro career overseas. He also played at Old Dominion. Former players setting up Virginia Dream. And CJ Taylor talked about how it's a bunch of childhood friends that put this club together, and that's what makes it so special. You see the foul here. That's why they love to come to work and put this all together. A yellow card here is shown as well.
Zach Ryan, no need to try to win this ball, just force him. Notice there's about 4 red players. And Avrakora can't help himself. Trying to go up and over. Joe Rice picks up a yellow card. But if you're Zach Ryan there, you just need to continue to put pressure on Hawkins. Make him run into traffic, and that's when you can turn him over.
Yellow card has been issued to Loudoun United, number 11, Ablatif Abukuro.
Sidu looking for that line-breaking pass, could not connect with Lakulia.
Is having a really difficult time just using his body. Erlinson has got the better of him every single time. As a striker, when the ball's oncoming, you have to be able to feel your individual marker. Because if not, you're just going blind, and that's when Erlinson just rounds Lakulia time after time.
Play this quick. Shepard Lewis cuts this one back. Good clearance there by Loudoun, it out of the danger zone. The ball was already out of play. It was before when it hit Santos. Play over the top, Demetrius Shepard-Lewis has options in the middle. It's Lakulia, and it's 3-2. Game on at Segra Field.
Sandu has changed the way that Virginia Dream likes to play, because he gives you organization, he gives you structure, and he gives you the ability to spray the ball wide. Lakulia does quite well just to split between Erlinson and Learman, and it's a powerful header. About 4 yards out, just too close in proximity for Farouk to do anything. Game on, 5+ remaining here.
Back to a 1-goal margin, and it's the two guys that have been doing a lot of the goal scoring. Lakulia alongside Mike Akinkoy. Lakulia scored 3 goals in the 2 qualifying matches. He then scored 1 last week. Akinkoy scored 1 last week, scored 1 tonight, scored 1 in qualifying as well. Those two have been where the offense has come from, and it's no surprise that those are the 2 goal scorers tonight. Akinkoy, who formerly played with the Maryland Bobcats in 2024, played in the U.S. Open Cup with Northern Virginia FC. This is Akinkoy's 4th straight year in the Open Cup. Is there something late in this game for Virginia Dream? Filerman. Just like the last round, Loudoun having to work for this one to see it out. Has to flip this towards goal, and it's out of play. Virginia Dream not giving up yet. Still 2 minutes plus stoppage time to go.
Urge and Skundrich are having a really difficult time just finding out how to lock this game out. Too many times Amo or any Virginia Dream player has time and space in that central location. So that forces one of the 2 center backs, Learman or Erlinson, that need to step off of their line, and that's why Amo and Lakulia is finding some success.
Step in again, and this one a foul. Free kick to Loudoun with under 90 seconds to go in regular time. Four of the 5 goals scored in the second half tonight. Riley Bidwell opened the scoring in the 42nd minute. Virginia Dream got it to 1-1. And mine, Zach Ryan, able to score now. Virginia Dream have gotten this back to a 1-goal margin as this is put back into play. Hurge bounces up on him. No handball, but it is turned over. Laculia couldn't get onto it. Shepard Lewis trying to track it down. Filerman has to be careful. He's already on a yellow card.
That wasn't a foul. Get back in the goal. You guys are joking.
Free kick to Loudoun as we enter 5 minutes of stoppage time. Abukura. Abukura saved by Joe Rice. He was parried into the middle. Now Virginia Dream looking for a way out. Anderson Asidu. Direct over the top, hanging up in the wind. Here's Hurge. And Abukura, you can just see the talent with number 11 in red. I'll give it an announcer's jinx on that one, sorry.
Just different. The way that he glides with the ball, the way that he touches the ball, just a bit more comfortable than the rest. Good save in the end from Joe Rice. And notice how he parries it away to not give a secondary rebound.
Abukura moving it into space. A chance to put this one away. The square ball, and Loudoun are going to the 3rd round. The 2 substitutes combining again, and Loudoun will escape.
It starts with Abukura. Pedro Santos comes involved. But if you are Virginia Dream, this is not the time to try to play an offside trap. You get it all wrong. If you are Harry Hawkins, Ben Mines is about a yard onside, unselfish. Draws in Joe Rice. That's when he plays it into Zach Ryan. He gets his brace. And Loudoun United are going to advance into the next round of the Open Cup.
The U.S. Open Cup draw tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. You can find it on the CBS Sports Galazzo Network. Joe Malfa, Jamie Watson, along with the commissioner, David Applegate. And no, if you reach out to them, they cannot help your favorite team. So,
no, you should reach out to them.
Loaded over the top. Going to the end line and out of play. It'll be a corner kick. What a fight this has been, though, in the second half from Virginia Dream. Thought they were out of it at 3-1. Got it back to 3-2. Gave themselves a chance. If they score here, they might still have a chance. That's not going to get it done.
Set pieces have been a struggle for Virginia Dream. Like you said, Josh, if you are CJ Taylor, you have to be very pleased with your side in the fight that they've shown. To first beat a Richmond Kickers side in USL League One, to come into Loudoun United, which is one of the hottest teams in all of USL Championship, and go like for like and claw yourself back into this game not once but twice. That's silly mistakes. You get punished when you come to this level. But a lot to be proud of, and they have some players on this Virginia Dream side that will not be surprised if we see them get a look to sign a professional contract after this tournament.
Loudoun looking for more. Ryan trying to complete the hat trick. All the way over the top. Zach Ryan. And out of play, a throw into Virginia Dream. Final minute tonight. A turnover. Hurge for Ryan, the extra pass and the shot parried away by Rice. Right up until the very end, Loudoun looking for more. Team that has accrued over 20 shots now, close to 10 on target as well. Final seconds ticking away. Santos. That is full time. Loudoun United moving on to the US Open Cup third round. And for Virginia Dream, the dream is done. A 4-2 win tonight for Loudoun United.
Professional from Loudoun United wasn't the prettiest, but yet it was effective. Survive and advance, and they've done that as they punch their ticket into the third round of the US Open Cup.
Highlights from this one, plenty of goals to show you throughout. And it started in the first half with Riley Bidois.
Fantastic header, glancing header from Bidois going back the other way. You thought it was going to be a handball on Nagy right there. It should have been, but give credit to Akinkoy. Stands his ground because he understands the backline is retreating, and it's a composed finish. You knew Loudoun with the quality that they had with the subs that Ryan Martin brought on. There was always going to be a difference. Great first touch from Ben Mines as he breaks the line and has enough pace to beat Joe Rice. And then it is Zach Ryan. He just wanted more, outruns every defender for Virginia Dream. Ben Mines gets the assist. Zach Ryan gets his first goal. And then Virginia Dream, they fight back yet again. Great ball over the top. And it is Likulia with a header from 60 yards out. Ill-advised step from Virginia Dream, but very unselfish from Ben Mines. And Zach Ryan gets his brace. That's 4 goals for Loudoun United, 2 for Virginia Dream. And Loudoun United advance to the next round.
Stats from this one, Loudoun United triple the amount of shots and shots on target. It's pretty fair that they are the victors.
Deservingly so of advancing. They were the better side from front to back from minute 1 to minute 95. But there is a lot to be proud of if you're CJ Taylor. A lot of talent on your roster. Loudoun United now turns to league play, and they will wait to see who they get drawn against in the third round.
That draw, remember, is tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Time on the CBS Sports Golazo Network. That'll do it for our coverage tonight from Leesburg, Virginia and Segra Fields. Virginia Dream put up a fight, but in the end, Loudoun United of the USL Championship, just too much. For our entire crew, broadcast partner Ricky Lopez-Espin, I'm Josh Eastern saying so long. The dream is done. Loudoun United moving on.